Have you ever wondered why certain relationships leave you feeling drained and unfulfilled? We all have relationships that shape us, both positively and negatively. But what if the negative is outweighing the positive? What if you're caught in a cycle of toxicity, pulling you down instead of lifting you up? This is about understanding the nature of these relationships, their impacts, and the signs of toxicity. If you're nodding your head, it's time to delve deeper into the world of toxic relationships. Picture this: you're in a romantic relationship, but instead of feeling loved, you feel constantly criticized or ignored. To some, this may sound like a typical Tuesday, but I'm here to tell you it's not. It's a sign of a toxic dating relationship, a plunge into the dating abyss. Let's dive deeper into this abyss. You're constantly under a microscope, every action, every word scrutinized. That's not love, that's criticism. Love should inspire you to be better, not make you feel like you're never good enough. Next, we have neglect. If you're with someone who's more interested in their phone than you, that's not just rude, it's neglectful. Love should make you feel cherished, not neglected. Now onto controlling behavior, a beast of its own. If you're feeling pressured to change who you are, to fit someone else's mold, that's control. Love should accept you for who you are, not force you into a box. And finally, we have lack of respect. If your feelings, thoughts, and opinions are constantly dismissed, you're not being respected. Love should respect your individuality, not stifle it. These signs can have a heavy emotional impact, leaving you feeling drained, unworthy, and even questioning your self-worth. It's important to remember that being in a relationship should enhance your life, not diminish it. In love, there should be respect, not constant disrespect and criticism. Now imagine you're at work, you're doing your best, but your efforts are never acknowledged, and your mistakes are always magnified. Sounds familiar, doesn't it? That's because you might be stuck in a toxic work relationship. This often manifests as a constant lack of appreciation. You're pulling overtime, you're meeting deadlines, but do you ever get a pat on the back? Often the answer is no. Instead, your errors, no matter how minor, are blown out of proportion, leaving you feeling undervalued and unappreciated. It's not just about the lack of recognition. It's the constant criticism, the relentless nitpicking, the never-ending fault-finding. It's like walking on eggshells, isn't it? Always on edge, always under scrutiny. This kind of environment's not only demoralizing, but can also lead to stress, anxiety, and burnout. Then there's manipulation, where you're subtly coerced into doing things that aren't necessarily in your best interest. And let's not forget office politics, where alliances are formed and power games are played. It's like being in a real-life version of a medieval court drama. But remember, work should be about collaboration and mutual growth. It should be a place where you're encouraged to reach your potential, not a place where your spirit is crushed. It should be a place where you're motivated to do your best, not a place where you're constantly on defensive. Work should be a place of growth, not a battlefield. Ever felt like your family is more of a boxing ring and less of a safe haven? It's an unfortunate truth that sometimes the most toxic relationships can be found within our own homes. Constant arguments that never seem to resolve, a lack of emotional support when you need it most, or perhaps a sibling or parent who's always favored over you. These are all telltale signs of a toxic family relationship, but it's not just about the immediate discomfort these situations cause. It's also about the long-term impact on your mental health. Living in such an environment can lead to a buildup of stress, anxiety, and a lack of self-worth. It can make you question your own value and abilities. It's important to remember that while families are supposed to be our pillars of support, they shouldn't become our source of constant stress and anxiety. After all, family should be your support system, not your source of stress. Friends are supposed to lift you up, not pull you down, right? But what happens when the people we call friends become the very anchors weighing us down? You might be caught in the friend fallacy. This is when we mistake toxic relationships for friendships. Toxic friendships often come disguised as normal ones. You might notice a friend who is constantly envious of your success, or perhaps one who always radiates negativity. A lack of support when you need it the most, or even worse, backstabbing, can be telltale signs. These behaviors can leave you feeling isolated and alone, a feeling that's far from the camaraderie real friendship brings. Remember, friends are meant to celebrate your victories, encourage you during your struggles, and stand by you through thick and thin. They should bring positivity and joy into your life. Friendship should be about support and positivity, not negativity and betrayal. So you're in a toxic relationship. What do you do now? We've journeyed through the dating abyss, untangled the workplace web, battled the familial foe, and debunked the friend fallacy. Along the way, we've uncovered red flags that signal you might be swimming in toxic waters. Excessive criticism, constant negativity, control issues, dishonesty, and disrespect, to name a few. These are the signs that you're in a toxic relationship, be it with a lover, a colleague, a friend, or a family member. So where do we go from here? Well, the good news is there's always an escape route. First and foremost, work on developing your self-confidence. Remember, you're a unique individual brimming with potential and worth. No one should ever make you feel less than that. Start by acknowledging your strengths. Focus on your achievements, no matter how small. And remember, it's okay to celebrate your victories. Next, learn not to overstay in toxic situations. It's like finding yourself in a sinking ship. Do you stay aboard and go down with it, or do you grab a life jacket and jump? It's essential to recognize when it's time to leave. Understand that it's okay to put your well-being first, even if it means saying goodbye to relationships that no longer serve you. Now let's talk about creating an exit plan. It's essential to have a strategy when leaving a toxic relationship. This could be seeking advice from professionals, setting up a support system with trusted friends or family, or even laying out the steps to distance yourself from the toxic person or situation gradually. And lastly, if your toxic relationship is at work, it might be time to seek better opportunities. Yes, I'm talking about finding a new job. It might seem daunting, but consider this. Is it more daunting than staying in an environment that drains your energy and joy? The world is full of opportunities waiting for you to seize them. Toxic relationships can be a lot like quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. But remember, you have the power to pull yourself out. You have the strength to walk away and seek healthier, happier relationships. Remember, the first step to a better life is recognizing and leaving behind what's not serving you well. Now that you've bravely navigated through the escape route, you find yourself standing on the precipice of a new beginning. This is the healing horizon. The first thing to understand about healing is that it's not linear, and it doesn't happen overnight. It's a process that requires patience, self-love, and continual self-assessment. Don't rush yourself or impose unrealistic timelines. Your healing journey is unique to you. Set aside time each day for self-reflection. This could be through journaling, meditation, or simply sitting quietly with your thoughts. Reflect on what you've learned from your toxic relationships and how they've shaped you. It's not about dwelling on the past, but about understanding your patterns and triggers. This understanding is crucial in avoiding similar toxic situations in the future. Next, seek professional help if you need it. Therapists and counselors are trained to guide you through the healing process. They can provide you with tools and strategies to cope with any lingering effects of your toxic relationships. It's also important to surround yourself with positive influences. This could be friends, family, or even online communities that share your experiences. Remember, you're not alone in this journey. Lastly, invest in self-care. This means taking care of your physical health through regular exercise and a balanced diet. But more importantly, it means taking care of your mental and emotional health. This could be as simple as setting aside daily me time for activities you enjoy. Remember, you've taken a significant step by leaving behind a toxic situation. Now it's time to focus on rebuilding a life that is filled with positivity, respect, and most importantly, love. You deserve nothing less. As we draw to a close, remember, if you found this video helpful, don't forget to like and subscribe for more content like this.